Hey guys, it's Rhiannon B again. Welcome back to Roman's Christmas. Last time we did the first part of chapter 3, and now we found Giannis the shark has been murdered. So we are now doing the investigation portion of the chapter and the trial. So we're going to be asking around, see what everybody was up to during the time of his death. So let's get started. Sarzan is leaning against the wall at the corner. Are you really okay? I'm fine. Even a rookie could tell Sarzan was trying to put up a brave front. Is the ladder fixed up? Yes, but I think the track was deformed because of the fall. So? So there will be a lot of noise when the ladder moves. Is it loud? Loud enough that you could probably hear it if the tavern is quiet. Have you noticed Giannis acting strange recently? I don't think so. I mean, he paid for his room and everything. I mean other things. Like? Anything out of character. I'd say he was pretty normal. For him, I mean. I see. Wait, did Giannis have a tab or was he behind on his room payments? Why do you ask? He asked me for money last night. He told me he couldn't pay for his room. What? I clearly told him I charge him the same price as the other rooms, and I never reminded him of this. That's weird. Did you notice anything else strange? Nope, except that I slipped and fell on the stairs this morning. The spiral stairs in the hall? Yes. Why? Probably because I was tired. I swore I felt something slippery, and then my foot slipped. What time was that? About 7 o'clock. I usually get up around that time, about an hour earlier than the residents. Okay. Okay, so is Sean one of the ones that's dead? I can't remember. Bed still looks the same. Okay, Sean, Peter. This bed is a mess. Not a whole lot in Peter's drawer. There's nothing strange about the window in Peter's room. The window lock is a drop-off lock. Lift the lever upward and the other lock lever on the other side of the window will turn outwards, no longer blocking its movement. Then either half of the window can be easily swung open. Hit the lock lever down and it will snap two windows together. The window will be completely locked in that case. Okay. Just outside the window is a narrow ledge that rings the second floor of the tavern. It's only wide enough that one person could walk along at a time. Sergeant uses it for maintenance, and he keeps his wings spread while he's walking on it so he can glide down if he falls. Sean, I just want to see. There's nothing strange about the window in Sean's room. Okay, it's the same clue. Just outside the window is a narrow ledge that rings the second floor of the tavern. It's only wide enough that one person could walk along at a time. Oh, okay. Wait, the ledge. The ledge outside of Sean's room seems to be broken. Okay. I guess in this case you need to look at the windows. Because now I remember, because it's been a week since I recorded the last one. I remember that our main character woke up with this window open. Is there anything you could tell me about Giannis's death? How would I know anything? I went to sleep, I woke up, and somebody died. Again. Oh God, oh Lord. I probably didn't help his hysteria. Is that all he has to say? Okay, yeah, there's nothing else. Okay. Do you have any information about what happened last night? No, there's nothing particularly noteworthy. I think the medicine Dr. Thrivey gave me made me a little confused. I thought I heard something, but I can't be sure what it was. Never mind. I don't want to lead you astray, Detective. Was the medicine you took last night effective? I'm not sure it was. I fell asleep rather late last night. Is that all she has to say? Okay. Push the bed. May I check what's in this drawer? Some of the things in there are private. If you really need to check, I can show it to you. Okay, but you're not gonna show it to me? Okay. An empty mug. Handbell, originally used to summon Sean, but now he won't be answering it ever again. A candle, neither the worst nor the best. Okay, nothing noteworthy about the lock. Okay, nothing noteworthy here. Okay, let's see. Just outside the window is a narrow ledge that rings the second floor of the... Okay. There's footprints here, though. Seems there's a slight imprint on the ledge, but it's hard to identify. They look like footprints. They look like footprints. Oops. Wrong button. Vincel. Elegant, what are you doing here? Well, I just went downstairs to inform everyone, and now I am here to assist you with the search. Got any clues? Not at the moment. What happened to helping me with the search? Did I say that I was finished? Okay, then. Vincel's giant chest. Wonder if it's ever been touched. Vincel's bed. Shame that he can't use it anymore. The drawer's still empty. Elegant should have this checked. The window in Vincel's room is shut tight. Seems there's some water stain on the windowsill. He also has fingerprints. I mean, there's an imprint on the ledge. Okay. Alright. Well, you're useless, so I guess let's go into my room and then we'll go... I think SARS is the one in the corridor. I'll go to my room. How was my backpack opened? I didn't lose anything except the evidence, but it felt strange. I'm feeling so tired. One of my friends was just killed. I shouldn't feel like this, but with this cold, This is the evidence from my last case, a notebook I keep notes in. Better have a double check since the window was open this morning. Are they still in Chinese? Yes, they are. Uh-huh. That was... Case note added to clue. Developers, please fix your game. The bag is empty. The arrow is missing. Okay, let's not panic. I shouldn't tell the others about the arrow yet. All that would do is make me the #1 suspect. Okay, so it was a tiny little dragon that did it. Case closed. I don't know. Knowing this game, it's probably going to be somebody I wouldn't suspect at all. How could the window be opened? I clearly remember I closed that window right before I went to sleep. And there was snow accumulated on the window when I woke up. It might have opened for a while. Look out the window. And there's the footprints again. I think there's a shallow mark on the snow on the ledge. Yeah, footprints. God damn. Who's down here? Okay, these two. I'll start with Peter, I guess. Whoever's at the top. Peter was scared out of his mind, shivering at the corner. Peter? I patted Peter gently. Leave me alone, please. But you're the only one who knows the most about Giannis. Doesn't Tarzan have any ideas? He doesn't. Okay. The only thing I know about him is that he's been gambling a lot recently. I do the same. He wasn't betting pocket change like you were. He put 50 cents into the game at least. What? Why did I know nothing about this? He'd always pay back on time, so no one talked about it. Talk to who? Oh, talk to who? I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah, gambling a lot recently. Okay, I guess Lunik. I shook Lunik's shoulder to wake him up. Quoi? What do you need, Monsieur Detective? Sorry for the disturbance, but I have some questions for you. Oui? Did you hear anything suspicious last night? Nobody came down the stairs and I heard no noise of fighting. The storm was quite intense last night and it hasn't stopped until this morning. Did you hear any noise from the ladder upstairs? I don't think so. Thanks a lot. Guess that's it. Okay. Is there anything you can really search here? A cup. Great. A candle. Candle, nothing special. This is the bar. A wooden cup. Gravy on the counter has been wiped away. Okay, great. You're so helpful. Fireplace doesn't produce nearly enough warmth. Base on the fireplace. A wooden cup. A wooden cup. Okay, I guess that's it. Yeah. I guess... Let's go upstairs. Let's go to Giannis's room. What? How's the autopsy going? Not finished yet. Give me a little more time. That Valerian stuff you gave out last night, it is safe, right? If you're implying what I think you are, yes. I drank a dose of it myself. Did you hear anything in the attic? No, neither Tarzan, Anzox, nor I went upstairs. Otherwise, the sound of ladder would have woken me up. It can't be more obvious that Anzox hadn't gone downstairs. Wait, I'm still checking the body. I'll investigate elsewhere first. With Lunik on the first floor lobby, not much can be found there. But giving the first floor a search is still necessary. Theoretically, every room should be checked, especially the doors and windows. Although not everyone can give useful testimonies, asking everyone is still necessary. Okay, first off, I did ask everybody already. And I believe I looked at all the windows. Maybe the doors then? They're implying I should look at the doors as well? Come to think of it, Saracen fell on the stairs in the morning. Maybe I'll go check if there's something on the stairs. I just hope the stairs survive the impact. Okay, I guess maybe the game's giving me a hint. Guess let's look at the stair. Let's investigate the stairs. Saracen tumbled here. The carpet is damp. Okay. Wait, no, not the attic. Corridor. Okay. Okay, I checked the stairs. Can I now talk to you? Oh, now I can search the room? What the hell? Window in Giannis's room is wide open. Snow has piled on the windowsill. And search. And there's the footprints. Just outside the window is a narrow ledge that rings the second floor of the tavern. It's only wide enough that one person could walk along it at a time. Saracen, yeah, I already did that. I think there's a swollen print on the ledge, similar to other ones I found earlier. They look like footprints. No shit. If we sort these footprints from deepest to shallowest... The deepest footprints were outside of Vincel's room. And then were the footprints outside Elegant's room. And the third set is outside of Giannis's. And then footprints found outside of my room were the shallowest ones. They're trying to frame me. It's Giannis's clothes. His key is still in the bag. However, the wallet was empty. A belt made from hemp rope was pulled out and set aside. Okay, so you can actually investigate the body. There's a circular wound around Giannis's neck. The wound is deep enough to break Giannis's skin. Shark skin isn't easy to tear. An arrow stuck into Giannis's chest. Specifically, the arrow I lost. The arrow sunk deep in his chest, with only the stick outside. But there isn't a lot of blood. The arrow went through the pleura of the lung, making quite a deep wound. Anyway, I don't have anything to do with this arrow. I've compiled a detailed report for you. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Thanks. Now I can actually ask you about the fucking autopsy. Thrivey just pulled up the sheet to cover Giannis's groin, but he pulled it down when he checked the body. Giannis's stomach isn't covered by that sheet, okay. Hey, now can I fucking talk to you about the autopsy? If you don't mind, I'd like to double check the autopsy results. As you wish. The victim is known as Giannis, a male shark, approximately 40 years old. The body was found in the victim's room an hour ago, with time of death about 5 to 8 hours earlier. The victim was found naked at the time of discovery. The genitalia are covered out of dignity for the deceased. There is a wound on the victim's chest, 7 centimeters deep, penetrating the pleura of the lungs with minor bleeding. An iron arrow was found in the wound, and the shape of the wound is consistent with the above arrow. Aside from a set of banded marks around the deceased's neck, no other wounds were seen. That is all I have found thus far. Is it going to be the same? Are we done now? This is the same. What do I do now? I searched this place already. Okay, I got the clothes already. I already did the door was shut. Oh, okay, now we can do the sniff. Okay. Man, this game is really particular about what you need to do. I'm having trouble breathing now. What if I could sniff out the murderer? What if? Time to sniff. Okay. I closed my eyes and tried to breathe in and out slowly through my nose. Okay. And I think you just have to click stuff. Different races and different things smell different. When they interact with each other, they'll leave their unique scent on each other. If I close my eyes and sniff carefully, I can locate the position of every odor, then restore them to the scene. The more similar interaction methods, places, types are, the more similar the scent is. I can't tell them apart. They seem so connected while they seem not. I can't smell a thing. With my nose clogged up, I couldn't smell a thing, but I have all the evidence I need. Time to find out the truth. Okay, I guess now it's time for the the trial. After a thorough search, I asked everyone to come to the hall for trial. Ivy took off the mask he wore during his autopsy. You may start now. Heron looked down and whispered, Unto God's gracious mercy and protection we commit you. The Lord bless you and keep you. May God's face to shine upon you, and may he be gracious unto you, both now and evermore. Amen. Lunac and Solar were sitting facing towards each other. No. I don't know. It looks like they're facing away from each other for me. I'm pretty sure nobody will agree to this, but is there anyone that thinks Giannis died from an accident? I've got a theory, but I'm not quite sure it's polite to say. No games, Peter, just talk. I've heard rumors that some people strangle themselves on purpose to increase the pleasure from... Ah, okay. I highly doubt it, but okay. What kind of rumors do you listen to? Well, I'm pretty sure that's totally unrelated and completely unimportant both to me or the case at the moment. How could someone do something so... Let's save the moral outrage for later, alright? Let's focus on what we can gather from the evidence. I'm pretty sure this isn't a case of sexual asphyxia. It seems to contradict the evidence. What proves Giannis did not die from sexual asphyxia? Well, I guess it could. Yeah, I think this seems more likely. The arrow stuck in his chest seems to be inserted quite deep. The arrow was deep enough to penetrate his pleural cavity and possibly his lung. If it did, his lung would have collapsed due to the pressure difference. I'm pretty sure even a masochist would have trouble with such a self-inflicted wound. Also, if this actually was sexual asphyxia, the rope he used would still be on his neck. Maybe we can ignore the scars for the time being. Alright, we can basically rule out accidental death for right now. It's time to figure out the likely suspects. First, we can exclude the 3 people in the attic. The reason is simple. Because there would be a loud friction sound when the ladder in the attic is dragged up and down, but no one heard it. True enough, but we could narrow the range of possible suspects further. If we exclude... Marquis Luna can be ruled out since he was the night watcher last night, but I will need you to testify further. But of course, then the possible suspects can be narrowed down to Peter, Heron, Elegant, Marquis, Solar, and myself. Why did I... It's alright, I didn't do anything. I didn't do it anyway. The important thing is to find the murderer. So I want to hear Marquis Solar's testimony first. Did you notice anything abnormal last night? I'll need all the details, no matter if you're unsure about it or not. If you say so, Mr. Detective. I didn't sleep well last night, possibly because of the medicine. But instead of leaving the room, I laid on the bed and tried to sleep. While I was on bed, I heard some abnormal sounds, like the friction sound of someone trying to sift something outside. It was quite clear. Something sounds fishy. Maybe I'll press harder for further information. Which part? A rubbing sound? A friction sound? Could you elaborate on that? It sounded like footsteps. It was louder when I first noticed that. Then the volume was getting lower and lower until it was almost inaudible. Then it has become louder once more. And then it went down again. Medicine didn't work on you? I couldn't get to sleep even after I took the medicine. Then you would have had the time to commit this crime instead of sleeping. So you stay in your room all night? It's unsuitable for ladies to go out casually at night. You appear to have heard it quite well. There wasn't any wind howling last night, so I heard it clearly. Okay. Please add what you just mentioned to the testimony. With pleasure. Please testify again. Great. I fell asleep really late last night. As a lady, I didn't want to leave my room casually. While I was in the bed, I did hear sounds like footsteps. It was quiet at night, so I heard it quite clearly. Wait a sec. What happened? Something sounds suspicious in your testimony. What's the contradiction in Solar's testimony? I've already forgotten half of what she said. Okay. Marquis Lunik was the night watch last night downstairs. According to his own words, the snow was very heavy at night. And you mentioned that it was quiet at night. I'm afraid it's not possible. Well, it might be because I was nervous. I was in bed listening to the footsteps outside. But I did hear it, I swear. Fine, I would note it down first. So Solar heard a difference in the sound because... What caused the sound Solar heard to change in volume? Distance changed? How far they were away? The suspect was moving on the ledge outside the tavern, so their distance from Solar's room also changed. The footsteps sounded faint when far away, then grew louder as they got closer. In other words, it was because of the suspect's movements. In the map of the tavern. When the suspect committed the crime, they must have passed by Solar's room twice. I don't know. Suspect first passed by Solar's room on the ledge outside. At that time, the noise the suspect made had not yet attracted Solar's attention. Solar finally heard the noise. The suspect was already on the ledge past her room. As the suspect continued to walk towards Giannis' room, their footsteps were getting quieter as well. Outside Giannis' room, the suspect entered the room and murdered Giannis. After committing the crime, the suspect returned along the same path and passed outside Solar's room again. The suspect returned to their own room. Their footsteps grew progressively quieter until they disappeared. This can explain why the sound of footsteps that Marquis Solar has heard changed from loud to quiet, then loud again, then disappeared. Possible suspects are narrowed down to 2 people. Me, probably. And... I don't remember. I think it was this guy, but no, I don't know. The footprints are really small, though. It's me, if you say so. Heron? Maybe? Heron is suspect 4. In other words, Heron and Peter, who were staying in the rooms on the night On the right, had to pass by Solar's room if they were going to commit crimes in Giannis's room. Wait! What? The lights outside Sean's room broke down decades ago. But it's still possible if the murderer jumped over the gap. You can't easily jump over such a big gap unless you're Sarzan. If the murderer didn't come from the rooms on the right side, it wouldn't have made that much kind of sound. Then how do you explain Solar's testimony? Perhaps she heard it wrong. I know exactly what I heard. That means we are the only two suspects. And I know clearly that I am innocent, which means you are the culprit. Anyway, care to tell me what you did last night? Why me? Okay. You could be firm with her, or you could be gentle with her. I don't know. Be firm, she may just snap back at you and shut down. Being gentle, though, she may think you're weak and walk all over you. Oh, gosh. I don't know, man. Also, I'll testify after you. Very well. You know, if the murderer did break into the room from the outside, then we are the only two suspects. I was sleeping the whole evening, and I am unsure of how to prove my innocence. But I have no motive to kill Giannis. The range of suspects could be expanded. Then who else might be involved? I'm not sure at the moment. Are you sure you don't have an alibi at all? What can I say? What about a motive? I knew him for less than 2 days, and he has nothing to do with my mission. There's also the fact that Giannis' name was crossed out in your notebook. Must we do the same song and dance routine again? No, my notebook is not a kill list or anything else. And are you not more suspicious than I? You suddenly develop a cold, and there are traces of snow in your room. Most importantly, the arrow from your drawer was found in the wound. What? I wanted to wait for you to bring it up, but you seem more intent on hiding it. I just need to find the perfect moment, believe it or not. Of course I believe it. I also believe that the perfect moment would appear right before I drop from the gallows, am I right? So speak, say it loud. If you truly are innocent, then you have no reason to fear the noose. If not, well, I will not be the one dropping from the gallows, will I? What exactly did you go... So when exactly did you go through my drawer? Time to testify. Are you ready? I am ready. Just explain the doubts one by one would be good, but can that solve this? Why was the window open? Blown open by the wind. I opened it myself. Opened by others. I closed my window before I went to bed last night, but when I woke up this morning, the window was open. I think it's because someone opened the window. How would I catch cold right at this time? Why now? The window was open? The windows were open, so my room was flooded with cold air all night. So that's why it was so cold. And what about the arrows in the drawer? Weapon prepared in advance. Evidence from last case. Prepared in advance? The arrow in the drawer was prepared in advance for... What kind of crap did I just say? I had to throw out my thoughts to try again. Opened by others. The window was open. It was there before check-in. The arrow in my drawer was not what I brought into the tavern. It was open. It's evidence from the last official case I was on. I came to the White Star before coming back to the agency to drop off the evidence because it was on the way. I didn't want anyone discovering it, so I hid the arrow in the drawer. The rest of the evidence in my backpack matches it. Why was the arrow inserted into Giannis's chest? The killer plugged it in? The arrow should have been inserted by the murderer who stole it based on the evidence of the moment. Am I motivated to kill Giannis? No. As for a motive, I don't really have one. Wait a moment. Again? Didn't Giannis ask you to pay back some money yesterday? You seem nervous. You think I'd murder my friend for that little? Also, when his body was found this morning, his wallet was empty. Now that I can explain. When he paid the room fee yesterday, he asked me to take care of his extra money while he was here. Why would he do that? To prevent him from gambling again, I guess. Anyway, getting to guard such a large fortune makes me feel a bit dragonish again. That kind of makes sense. Guess I'm free of suspicion now. La victoire est mienne. The victory is mine. Or victory is mine. What? I figured out how the murderer committed this vicious crime. Huh? Are you seriously trying to steal my job? First, the murderer assembled the collapsible arrow found in Monsieur Detective's drawer, then tied a string to the end of the arrow as a tether. Then he climbed outside the window and skulked like a thief to Giannis's room by using the ledge. The clever murderer opened the window, killed Giannis in his bed, then pulled the string in an attempt to retrieve the arrow. Huh? But because the arrow had been disassembled and assembled repeatedly, the arrow came apart. Quelle surprise! The murderer only received the back half of the arrow. The murderer then returned to his room along the way back with nobody the wiser. This does explain a lot, but something seems to be missing. Roman seems really suspicious if you look at it that way. Coming to Giannis's room in that way. Then returning to his room, leaving footprints on the ledge outside the window. Everyone looked at my eyes full of doubts. I was biting my thumb. I need to hurry up and give an explanation or else I'll end up as the murderer. I looked at Elgin and she looked at me too. Because it does make sense if it truly was you. You are clever and resourceful enough to come up with such a plan. Grr, it does make sense when you first hear it, but the evidence contradicts it. Quoi? How interesting. Which evidence contradicts Lunix's guess? But I don't think... Problem is with the body. I don't think Giannis was killed by the arrow. Why was Giannis' death not caused by the arrow injury? Marks in the neck. Wound bleeded little. The arrow reached... because the wound was hardly bleeding. That plus the markings on his neck suggests Giannis' cause of death was suffocation. How much difference could the different cause of death make? A lot, because it suggests that the arrow in his chest was used to throw suspicion on me and muddle the actual evidence. And this method seems familiar to me. Where have I seen Lunix's theory before? Maybe this one? You know, the case I completed in Sunnyvale seems very similar to your guess. What are you on about, Monsieur Detective? Whether it's the bow and arrow or the method of recovering the weapon with a string, don't you think it's too similar to be described as mere coincidence? Some scholars believe that criminals tend to commit crimes following familiar methodologies. Par conséquent, it's not surprising that you would do this. There are others here who, like me, are very familiar with this case. Solar? One of them is Solar. You were there on the day I solved the case, and I also reported to you in detail about the investigation. Okay, how was I supposed to know this? Maybe it was just mentioned really early in the game. If someone could frame me in this way, it can only be one of you. Impossible! Neither my husband nor I are that kind of... But shouldn't your window be locked unless the culprit came through your room? Of course not! Why are you so sure? Very simple, because you said... The murderer opened the window, killed Giannis's bed with the arrow, then pulled the string to retrieve the arrow. Now that the murderer can open Giannis's window, would it be so difficult for him to also open mine? Then, how did he open it? Just guessing should not be enough to be admissible as evidence. The window has a drop-off lock. If he inserted a sufficiently thin, hard object through the window gap, like a dagger, he could push the lock lever away from the locked position. It's not that difficult, right? However, you and the Grey Cat are still the only two suspects. My name is Elegant. Also, I suddenly realized something. The scope of the suspects was wrong, because we were wrong about the suspect's starting point this whole time. What starting point? Oh, well, there was the wet spot on the stairs. The starting point where the suspect climbed out from inside the room to the ledge. Where did the suspect move to the outside? Okay, it's just gonna be the top floor. From their own room? Or maybe from Sean's room? Didn't it start from here and then go along? Peter, no. Suspect moved to the outside of the window in Sean's room. I don't know, man. The suspect moved to the outside from the window in my room. Wasn't that you? Sorry, wrong sequence. Hey, why do you keep saying something that doesn't matter? I'm sorting my ideas. Sort out ideas? I think you're just thinking about how to scapegoat someone. Ever since we found Giannis's corpse, your actions have been really suspicious. What? What's with this music? I'm not going to make the same mistake twice, Roman. No, Before I could explain, Sarzan rushed forward and hoisted me off the ground with his claws around my neck. My feet kicked uselessly in the air as my vision swam and a buzzing filled my ears. Roderick, or what the hell is this? The last thing I could see as the world went black was the light glinting from the tears on Sarzan's snout. What is happening right now? What the hell is this? Is this like a bad ending? Question mark. Okay, that's stupid. What the hell just happened? Okay, I guess I'm gonna have to skip from where we were and go back, because I think that's just like a bad ending, which I didn't even know you could get a bad ending. So I will try again, then I will, but I'll be fast forwarding back to where we were. Okay guys, I'm back. I decided for this, at least for a little bit, to use a guide. Because I tried this one more time that I'm cutting out as well, that I failed again. So I'm just using the guide because I'm very clueless at this point. So it should start from Giannis's room. The suspect moved to the outside from the window in Giannis's room. The suspect was in Giannis's room at the beginning. After strangling Giannis, the criminal climbed out the window and made their way towards my room. After removing the window lock from the outside, they checked my nightstand and backpack, took the arrow, and returned to Giannis's room. They stabbed the arrow into Giannis's chest and climbed out the window again. C'est absurd! What? No, it was not established that the suspect had only returned to their room through the window from the outside, right? The range of suspects hasn't changed at all. No, the criminal went to another room. Okay, and then it should be Vincel's room. The suspect left the outside through the window in Vincel's room. Vincel's room is now empty. They could just jump in from there. I think Sarzan didn't lock the room last night. It seems I didn't. In that case, it makes sense. Wait, please! If you think that mere words are enough to prove. No, I have the conclusive evidence. What piece of evidence can prove the murder left from Vincel's room? It's Vincel's window. Please check Vincel's window out. Although the window is closed now, there is a puddle of water on the windowsill. That means... Why was there water on the windowsill? Well, I'm gonna look at the guy, but let me guess first. It came from the killer brought it in. It came from the window. I don't know. Killer brought it in. That's what I thought. When the murderer entered the room, they brought the snow outside into the room. Moreover, the murderer went downstairs. What evidence could prove that the murderer went downstairs? Oh, because of the stairs, right? Stains on the stairs, yeah. There were water stains on the stairs. It shows that the snow on the murderer was tracked on the stairs. Now that you said that no one came downstairs last night, I think it's already clear who the culprit is. Click Q&A. Click the moving icon to answer. Weapon. First, let's talk about the weapon. What was the weapon? Giannis's clothing, okay. There's the lethal weapon. What was the weapon? The belt, right? Belt. Yeah, belt. Sorry, I'm using the guide because I don't want to get the bad ending again. It's Giannis's belt. He has banded strangulation marks on his neck, and I believe that's what caused them. The arrow was stuck in him after his death. I think you can only do it in a certain order anyway. Yeah, you can only do it in a certain order. Modus operandi. Here's how things played out. Arrange the occurrences chronologically from top to bottom by dragging chips to each position. Okay. Okay, method was 6. The suspect entered Giannis's room through the door. 2. The suspect strangled Giannis with a belt. 7. The suspect entered Roman's room to collect the arrow. 3. The suspect went back to use the arrow. And 4. The suspect left Vincel's room. This is a sequence of events. Suspect. The murderer is Who is the murderer? It is Lunik, okay. Yeah, I was thinking it was either him or the little dragon dude. Lunik is the murderer. What are you talking about? Mr. Detective, please! I'll explain this whole case, including your motive and your tricks. You will cease this slander immediately, or I... Sorry, Murky, but I have to. The motive. What's the motive? About the motive. According to our inference, you entered Giannis's room through the door. Now here's the question. Why did you enter his room at midnight? It seemed you two had a long conversation when deciding who would be the night watchman. And Giannis is naked. Shut up! Why was Giannis naked? Giannis undressed himself? Yeah, he undressed himself, apparently. Giannis undressed himself. Was he used to sleeping naked? I have no idea, but I think he wasn't undressed to sleep. What then? I think he was undressed because clothes would have gotten in the way. Are you trying to imply something? Oh my god. It's entirely possible that Lunik and Giannis were involved in a homosexual affair. That's impossible! How could someone be like that? Even if it's true, my husband would never. So you mean Lunik had sex with Giannis before he killed him? This is where the stuff comes in. Elegant hesitated, but continued anyway. Dare I ask who was on top? Really, Elegant? Really? Is that the right question? Really? Nobody cares. There's better things. There's other things to deal with right now. I don't believe. Silence. You dare slander moi? You have no evidence. You will be punished by God for your lies. No evidence? So what do you call this? Elegant raised her paw, showing a pinch of gray fur. I found it on the bed. No, I made sure. Back to the motive. What was Lunik's motive? He could have been blackmailed. But I want to make sure I get the best ending, so what's the answer? Blackmailed, okay. I guess Lunik was blackmailed by Giannis. So to prevent his secrets from coming to light, Lunik had to kill him. It would be easy, given how much alcohol and valerian potion Giannis had consumed. To say nothing of the vigorous workout. Really, Elegant? Really? That too. Anyway, even Giannis could be strangled to death under those conditions. Done. In other words... Case playback. Last evening, Lunik and Giannis agreed to meet in Giannis' room at night. When everyone was asleep, Lunik quietly went upstairs and came to Giannis' door. Did Giannis lock the door? Locked. Giannis locked the door. After that, Giannis made some demands in exchange for keeping the secret. What was Lunik's reaction? Kill him! In order not to be blackmailed, Lunik strangled Giannis from behind with a belt on the bedside, leaving the marks on his neck. While thinking about how to find a scapegoat, Lunik remembered the case I solved. So Lunik climbed out of Giannis' window, made his way down the ledge to my room, lifted up the window lock, and opened the window to my room. He took the arrow from my drawer, returned to Giannis' room, put the dead boy body into a sleeping position, then stabbed him with the arrow to make a wound. Then he left the room through the window, opened Vincel's window, and returned to the unoccupied Vincel's room. He brought the snow outside into the room, leaving a puddle of water after it melted the next day. The snow on him fell when Lunik went downstairs, so there was melted snow on the stairs. The next day, Sarsen stepped on the puddle when he went downstairs and slipped. A clever trick, but you underestimated me too much. Magnifique, Monsieur Detective. Well done. Huh? You're not going to deny it? Why should I? It seems you know your situation well. Je sais bien, but it doesn't matter. Whether I deny it or not, you can't touch me. What are you saying? You murdered someone so Roman can sentence you. None of you are of the nobility. Oh, you don't even have a proper judge right now. What are you? The Helios Code stipulates that. A common-born judge may not sit in judgment over a noble. Remember, I told you this earlier? Wouldn't it be possible to... If you so much as think of trying to tie me up with that feline merchant, I will see to it that your business is destroyed. How could this be? Does this mean this whole investigation was in vain? Do you understand? Then I suggest you all forget this ever happened. Lunik sneered at us like we were insects. Yes, I killed that useless muscle-bound oaf. What of it? My only regret, Monsieur Detective, is that you and your cat friend are so good at ferreting out extramarital affairs. What? Last night, Giannis and I... Oh. Funnily enough, I wondered if she was gonna pull something. Sha Xiao Xiu Bao. That was the achievement I got. Looks like a dumpling. Lunik's sneer froze in a look of shock, and a dark red stain began to spread across his forest green coat. The dark green cloth made the red blood look even darker, as though his malice was leaking out of the wound. You... Lunik collapsed onto the carpet, and blood from the stab wound slowly pooled under him. The bloody knife clattered to the floor. Solar stood still, but tears dripped down through her fur. What happened? I don't know. Solar dropped down, squatting beside Lunik, who was still convulsing and letting out garbled gasps. Sarsen took a half step forward, but I quickly stopped him. What are you doing? Sarsen glared at me, his voice a snarl of anger. No, don't. It's not safe to approach now. But the Marquis. Even if we wanted to do something, a stab wound like that is fatal. I'm sorry, I didn't know it would be like this. While Solar was wailing, Elegant quietly approached and picked up her dropped dagger. But the knife's still in his bag. Whatever. Darling, I'm sorry. I really don't want to. Thrivey ran down the stairs, carrying his first aid kit, pushing Heron out of the way as he started to rush to Lunik. I'm sorry. Solar collapsed on the carpet, and Thrivey hurried to her and turned her over. She just fainted, it's fine. What about Lunik? Thrivey put his hand on Lunik's chest and his throat, then sighed and shook his head. Oh, he did. I'm afraid he's gone. God has his own arrangements. One case down, one more to... I do not think so. Why? You already forgot? She's noble. According to the Helios Code, a common-born judge may not sit in judgment over a noble. As a Marquis, Solar is also sheltered by that statute. In other words, we can't legally do anything about Solar. And I see no reason to. She's still a murderer? That's nice. What's the right answer here? Is there a right answer here? Okay, yeah, there's this guy doesn't really have anything. Still a murderer, but she literally just killed. But there's nothing I can do now. Whatever I say doesn't matter. Solar woke up. Okay, I'll talk with her. Solar was sprawled ungracefully in an armchair by the fire and didn't look at me as I approached her. I don't know what I'm doing, really. Care to tell me what's going on with that dagger you were carrying? The dagger! It was a gift from my mother the night before I got married. She told me. Mother, why are you so late? I had hoped I would give this to you before you were wed. Here, take it. This is a dagger. The night before I married your father, my mother gave it to me like her mother before her. Why did she give you a dagger? This is no ordinary dagger. This is a memento, a talisman that will ensure your husband remains faithful and kind. I see. Thank you, Mother. Make sure to keep it close. I suggest hiding in the inner pocket of your dress like I do. I doubt the dagger was actually magical, but it did its job one way or another. Then why did you? Suddenly I feel that this isn't a good question. I don't know. When he was gloating like that, I just saw red. Why didn't he tell me? I thought he acted like this because he was worried or under stress or the financial pressure. I always thought that if I helped share the burden, give him time to rest, that he would. Solar ducked her head and whimpered. It was like my body moved on instinct. When I came to, I was already holding the knife and standing behind him. Is this the point where you tell me the verdict? Truth be told, I can't do anything. Although I'd like to see you accept the punishment you deserve, my paws are tied. When the snow stops, I'll hand you over to the proper authorities. Thank you. Go back to your room. I'll bring you some food later. Since so much has happened, I'd wager you'd prefer to be alone right now. Sarzan handed me a key. Indeed. Thank you, Detective. Solar took the key, delicately wiped her eye, and silently went upstairs. I figured you'd want to tie her hands at least. No need for that, I think. I'd probably have done the same thing if I was in her position. Besides, I'm not used to being so rude to a lady. That's not unreasonable. Sarzan sighed and sat in the chair opposite of me. Can't believe something like that happened. It's not like we could have known. And Giannis, I really can't imagine it. As a drinking buddy of his for so long, I didn't even realize. Then again, maybe he didn't want to let others know that. I don't quite believe your reasoning. Giannis wasn't the kind of guy who would blackmail someone. I don't think so either, but from Lunik's point of view, it was probably his only option. He couldn't just risk the scandal getting out. Sarzan stood up and dusted off his hands. I should go fix lunch. Peter strode towards me, his expression hostile. Didn't you say that you would protect everyone? What? First Cain, then Anzox, now Aeonis? Are you doing this on purpose? Peter was shouting loud enough that the other guests in the hall looked over. It's not like I could just magically... Bullshit! For all we know, you're just manipulating us so you can satisfy your desire to solve murders. Do you seriously hear what you're saying right now? You think I enjoy watching the people I care about die? You think anybody, least of all me, is happy with what's been going on? Sorry. Peter took 2 steps back, then turned and bolted upstairs. It's too hot by the hearth. Let's choose another place. The only remaining trace of Lunik's presence had been reduced to a few red smears on the carpet. Hardly a satisfying solution. I guess. By the way, this is for you. Elgin handed me a collection of gray hairs and winked. What? I took it out of the washstand. You what? Thank you. A thank you should suffice. A thank you? Is it really necessary to shout, Roman? You lied to me, presented fake evidence, and still want me to thank you? Calm down. No need for that. You were this close to ruining my entire career. You want me to thank you? Oh, Roman. Don't conceal evidence, and then you just took my hair and pretended it was Lunik's too. Ugh. I stomped upstairs and decided not to go downstairs until it was time to eat. I slammed the door shut behind me and fell into the bed, burying my muzzle in the pillow. I heard footsteps hurrying upstairs, but I didn't care. Mon beau requin, we still have a long time before dawn. Not to spoil the mood or anything, but your wife is literally just down the hall. Bah, she is unimportant right now. Yeah, but if she catches us, then you'll be completely screwed, you know. I mean, her family's pretty influential in Cordoba, and a marquise getting railed by a dock worker ain't the sort of thing a reputation recovers from. Don't get me wrong, I'd still love you if you were just some penniless bum on the street. But just in case, it might be a smart idea to set up a little something between us, just as a backup. And now, mon beau? Would she find out, Well, given how much noise you make, I'm surprised she hasn't noticed by now. Aw, come on, I'm just messing with you, Looney. Yes. Teasing me, are you? I mean, you're always such a tease. Then perhaps it's my turn to take the initiative. Well, 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 climb on up then. Oh my god. Really? Okay, that is the end of the chapter. Alright, so we are now into chapter 4. And... okay, yeah, I believe there's 5 chapters, so I believe there's just 2 more chapters left to go. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys on the next chapter. Bye, guys.